Hello everyone, Dave here, and welcome to another of my spiritual ramblings. Now then, last Saturday was our community call, and we were given a theme to speak about light programs. So I thought it might be appropriate now, a few days later, to make a video about these light programs. What are light programs? Where did they come from? How do they work? What do they do for you? Well, they started in about 1998 when I was guided to start to visit sacred sites around the UK and collect vibrations from these sacred sites. So the first of these vibrations were created into these bottles of essence, which were called the Devic essences, Devas being the nature spirits of the earth, or the Devic realms. So when I began creating the vibrations and putting them into these essences, I started taking them to see what they would do, obviously. And they were quite, transformational. So I began to use them with the clients. The client would lie on the couch and I would build a grid around the client, usually with crystals and the vibration of essences. And then the guidance would speak to me about how to place these essences, and then the healing process would begin. The client would be taken out of the body usually. I was then taken out of the body for a period of some hour or so. I would then come back and the guidance would then speak to me about the work that was being done with the client. So what I understood after a while was that the light was working through the vibration of the essence. So the light was coming through me, through my heart, through the essence and into the heart of the client. The next step, of course, was to provide an essence for the client to take away, and then to take for a few days, well actually for about 3 to 4 weeks, 3 drops 3 times a day, 3 to 4 weeks. Today, of course, we've done away with the bottles and we use an app that we can you can download the vibration from your phone or from your computer into a bottle or directly into your heart. Anyway, I'm not going to go into the details of that in this particular talk. It's complex and simple, just like the universe, just like all of us. We're complex, yet we're simple. So the light began to work through my heart, through the essence, into the heart of the client when they were taking the essence. And this was how light programs really began. I suppose they began as essence programs. And then they progressed into what we know today as light programs. So 1998 was when I started that process. About 2000, 2001 was when I had a good few vibrations that we could use with clients. And the light kept guiding me to different sites around the UK and then wider, Egypt, Sweden, places like that, to sacred sites to gather more vibrations. Well, that's carried on more or less to the present day. And we have, I don't know, over 100 anyway, vibrations from different places. But those vibrations have changed a lot over the years. And what I began to realise when I was taking the essences myself, well, the first thing I realised was they were extremely powerful and transformational. And I thought, well, people are going to love these. These are just amazing. How does this work? Well, I kind of knew how it works, but we'll come into that later. So, as we, so the guides are talking to me at the same time I'm trying to talk to you. It gets a little bit confusing at times. Let me just check the microphone. They told me to check the microphone. Yes, it's on. I think they're just having a game with me. They do have an amazing sense of humour. And if I didn't check the microphone, the channeling would stop. So we're having a bit of fun. So coming back to essences, so 1998 we started, 2000, 2001 I had quite a few vibrations, and then 2005 the Emerald Heart Light was poured into me, and I began to realise that the essences, the vibration of the essences, had been the process of preparing me to receive the Emerald Heart Light. But prior to receiving the Emerald Heart Light, I'd also received another light, which was called the Wheel of Light. And the light programs began with the Wheel of Light. So as we were using the essences, and this light was given to me, the guidance was saying, well, when you give this essence to a client, what we're going to do is pour the light through your heart, through the essence every time they take it, into their heart. But also at the same time, we're going to connect directly from the universe into the heart of the person. And by doing this, the universe can change the vibration of the essence literally by the minute, usually by the day in the beginning, but then later by the minute. And, you know, it was just a fascinating process. The first light programs used to take about 6 months. So after the consultation, the client would receive a bottle of essence, one bottle of essence, and they would take that for 3 to 4 weeks, and then we would have a follow-up consultation where the guidance would show me how the light had been working so I could give that feedback to the client. Then they would receive a second essence, a second vibration, and that would take them through the second month and then the third month. And the first light programs took about 6 months to get from one end of it to the other. And in that process, of course, it was transformational. And I used to find that in those early days, clients would either need just one visit or 3 visits. If it was complex, they would come back another 2 times, so 3 visits in all. But the vast majority only needed 1 shot. It was so transformational. And so, as time went on, the light programs shortened, and that was basically due to the amount of light that I could bring through my own being. So as we're going through transformation, the heart consciousness raises or has the ability to rise to a higher and higher vibration. And with the raising of that vibration, it's almost like the mass of the consciousness within the heart grows, so you can channel or receive more information from the universe. And it's not necessarily more information as in lots of words, it's more information as in transformational light or consciousness, universal consciousness. So the programs came down to about 3 months on average, and by this time we got Wheel of Light programs and we got Emerald Heart Light programs. So as I say, the Emerald Heart Light came in January 2005, and then that was a massive transformational process for me. After the light hit me, it was, well, the process was just indescribable, really. You have to experience something like this to really understand it. But essentially, the light hit me one morning as I was getting out of bed. I saw it coming across the room. It hit me in the heart, and it seemed like it hit me in the brow chakra at the same time. And it's like a million questions are going through your mind at the same time, and it's like, well, what is this, what's it all about? And at the same time, the light is transforming you, so you're trying to ask questions but you can't get them answered because you're in a process. Well, this process carried on for about 6 months, and in that 6 months I barely slept. The light was just intense. Every day I was working with clients, but every night I was up most of the night writing teachings. So the universe was giving me teachings for all these months, and I was applying these teachings to the light that was being used with the client in the process of their healing. And the light would say, well, try this and see what happens. Try that and see what happens. So it was very much a trial and error process in how the universe was teaching me how to use the light. But at the same time, what the light was doing was illuminating the consciousness of the client. Now, this is perhaps the most important part of how these light programs arrived. As I was working with a client, the light would come through me, through my heart, into the heart of the client, and as it illuminated the heart of the client, their higher self within their heart would tell me what needed to be done in terms of the healing. So, for example, a client might come with all manner of different things that they wanted to heal, but their heart would tell me to ignore most of that and just go for this one point. Hit it with the light like we're firing an arrow into a target. And it would show me a target with the circular rings. And it said, you have to fire the arrow of light into that target, but not just hit the target. You have to hit the very, very centre of that target. So in that process, the higher self of the client, or let's try and put it another way, the universal consciousness was working through the client to show me what needed to be done and how to do it. And in this process, it taught me how to create the light programs. So the light programs were created by the universe, but through the hearts of whoever I was working with. And through this process of trial and error and elimination, over a period of about 12 months, I got to a point where I totally understood the universal consciousness, the light, how it worked, what we could do with it, what we couldn't do with it, etc., etc. And all this boiled down to a group of laws by which the light functions. So that essentially is how we managed to arrive at light programs. So it's not something we created, it's something that was given, but was given through the process of working as a healer with clients. So in that amazing process where you're working one-to-one, whether you're in the same room, on the telephone, working on Skype, it doesn't matter. Your heart is automatically connected with that person through the ethers. So through that amazing process, over a period of 12 months, from when the Emerald Heart Light came and all the teachings came, I ended up in this process where we had these amazing light programs. And the light programs have developed over many, many years. And, you know, we have a whole range of different light programs because once they've been created through the needs of a particular person, that light program is there, it's created, it's a creation process, it's created and can be used many times by any other people. So, you know, there's a list of these light programs on our website, and you can literally request a light program without even speaking to us, and it gives a description of what each light program is for. And if you wanted a light program just to help generally, for example, maybe you don't really know what you need help with, but you just feel like you need help, you can get yourself a 12-week connection of an Emerald Heart Light program, literally just by signing up on the website. And the moment you do that, it triggers the light in my heart, it triggers the light in the universe, and immediately my heart is connected with yours. The light comes from the universe, flows through my heart into your heart, and at the same time the universe manages or governs this by bringing the light directly to you, into your heart from the universe itself. So it's kind of like this triangle from the source into my heart, into your heart, and from the source into your heart. So this kind of triangular functioning of the light just puts you into this place where you're putting your whole life into the hands of the universe. It's an absolutely phenomenal process. It can be gentle or it can be extreme, but it always gives you exactly what you need. And it's through these programs that have really unlocked my consciousness to this point today, where I transmit the darshan. And the darshan transmission is just phenomenal. I mean, it goes beyond my comprehension, it really does. I know how it works, I can see how it works, but the consciousness of the human being says this is just nuts. How can this work? But it works, it's amazing. And what happens in the darshan, for example, is a kind of light program, but I prefer to describe it as a divine blessing, because basically that's what it is. As you sign up for darshan, and we do darshan about once every 3 weeks. I used to do a bit more often than that, but it was too much for my system. It used to burn me out. And so we do it about once every 3 weeks. And you can sign up through my website, davidashworth.guru. And when you sign up, in fact, if you sign up for the mailing list, you'll get all the teachings as well, free of charge. Any teachings that come, and there's several every month, you will receive those. But when you sign up for the darshan, you're already being prepared to receive it from the moment you sign up for it. And in the process of when the darshan is transmitted, it's that same process as with a light program, where the light is delivered directly to your heart from the universe. So the universe is looking at you as an individual person, and you're getting exactly what you need in that moment. But at the same time, the human side of us is being supported by the light that comes through my heart and into your heart. So this kind of triangular arrangement with the universe is how it all comes together. And so finally, what can a light program do for you? Well, the answer to that is who knows, because it always gives you exactly what you need. But specifically, if you want help with a particular thing, if you send me an email and say, Dave, I need help with this particular thing, can you recommend a light program? I will recommend what I think is appropriate, and we can connect you up, and then you're into the light for usually a period of about 12 weeks. And in that period, it's quite amazing the things that happen. But, you know, the only way we as healers or teachers can judge this is by the feedback from the clients. And over almost 30 years now of doing this work, from when I first had my awakening, I know for a fact that it's absolutely transformational, amazing. And of course, my colleagues that I've taught over the years, they know the same because they've experienced the same. So that's a little bit of a talk about light programs, what they are, where they came from, what they can do for you. And I hope that you've found that of interest and helpful. By all means, sign up to the mailing list, get some free teachings, be notified when the darshan is coming. You can sign up for darshan free of charge to try it out. Anyway, I think that'll do for today. So I've been Dave, and I hope you've enjoyed this. See you again soon in the next video. Thanks for watching.